Good morning. We're holding now Ois Hey in the Likkutei Sichos, and now we explained the whole beer of what the Meraglim were thinking, what their mistake was, why the Eibishter got upset at them, and now we're going to learn the hero. So the Rebbe says like this: Torah is Meloshen Hiro. Same root as we said many times as Hiro, instructions. As in Torah is Ich voran die Anweisung, wie sich zu bewahren, wie Torah Meraglim. That Torah contains a lesson to safeguard us for making the mistake that the spies made. Was is the Eitzah? So what is it teaching us? The Shema said that Shlach, Sichos. So the name of the Parsha is Shlach, which means has the same root as Shlichos, which means a mission. Ayidar wissen as ich wenn es vernommen sich mit der Arbeit von Nishma verstehen besichli. Leidcho darf consider gedenken als tut es als a Shlichos von Meshe. Nicht weil will sich verstehen die Sache, nur weil so is the rational. So a Yid has to know that when he's involved in the Aveda, according to, like we said, Nishma, understanding things intellectually and acting according to his own discretion, he has to remember that he's acting as a Shliach of Moshe Rabbeinu. His motivation should not be that he desires to understand the matter at hand, but it's Hashem's will for him to do so. Und demot is min bavort nit nor mit dem Nase, nor euch mit dem Nishma. So when a Shliach has this type of approach, he can be rest assured that he will carry out Hashem's will, not only according to the Nase motive, but also according to the Nishma. Das versichert, als der Seichel, wenn wird sein Seichel amiti und kommen zu der Maskana amitis. He can be assured that his understanding will be genuine and he will arrive at a true conclusion. Die Sache von Seichel ist zu ausgefunden, wie der Muskel ist lamitasi. Man darf verwatteln sein alle eigenen Nitiers schuldig und sich zutragen zu der Sache, was man will verstehen. So knowledge and understanding what objectively it wants to understand the true nature of the concepts involved. So in order to do that, it requires it's necessary to negate all of one's natural tendencies and focus objectively on the matter that he desires to understand. Parshas tut dann in besichlich zu sein eigenen Geschmack und Chuli. Damals ist recht, als sich reinmischen die eigenen Nitiers, bis es wird proven zu fasten, die Metzias zu sein der. So when a person is involved in an abstract thought, so he remains motivated by his own pleasure and desire, it's possible for his thinking to be affected by natural tendencies to the extent that he seeks to adapt reality in his own preconceptions. Was das is einer von den Biyudim in Ian HaSheichad. This is one of the ideas, the concepts of bribery. The Torah says that bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and wraps the words of the righteous. Now, the Rebbe says, "Locher v'balas teres emes is made as letzich wegen Chacham Tzadikim. Seien sie doch Chacham Tzadikim mit ihm. Hein, wie kommt es, als es soll melchatchila nehmen Sheichad?" So the Rebbe asks, if the Torah is a Torah of truth and it describes the psukim, it describes these people as wise and righteous, so how would it be possible for a person to take a bribe? He's a tzaddik. How could you say, we're talking about Chacham over here. How is it shaykh for them to take a mitzvah? The Rebbe said this many times by Fabringen. So what's the explanation? Well, the Ian shaykh is nicht nur, was man nimmt Geld geht, was in der Fall wird man sagen, an effenem sheker. Nor, was man tracht nicht wegen der Metzias, wie sie ist, nor man tracht wegen sich und der eigenen Metzias. So a bribe includes not only taking money or something similar and taking and saying a blatant lie because of the gift, but also failing to think about the situation in an objective and honest way, and instead thinking about oneself and one's own feelings and leanings. So when a person has a sheichad, there's no way he can appreciate it truly. He can't gain a genuine, objective appreciation at the concept at hand. And this was the error of the spies and the drastic decline that they underwent. Hat gefällt in dem Bittel zu Moshe Rabbeinu und an Efer als das soll der Herd werden euch beschatzt seine Vernommen mit ihm von Nishma Lassos Arts. So they lacked the Bittel to Moshe to the degree that it would it would basically govern their thought process when they're involved in the nishma, in exploring Eretz Yisrael. So since they felt, in other words, they were controlled by their own individual self-concern, and because they were very concerned and they were controlled by their individual self-concern, so the Nephilim, which were the descendants of the giants, caused them to be overcome by fear, to the extent that they said, we are like grasshoppers in our own eyes. And und das ist geworden an ihnen von Shechel, was hat Moshe Mathe gewinnt, sehr Sechel bis zu sagen Lenuchal Alis. And this was the bribe which blinded their minds to the point that they declared we cannot ascend. Shlach. So when a person realizes that he's a Shliach, and the entire existence of a Shliach is identified by his sender, und is der Ruf Gufa is min Shluche shel Moshe, was Moshe is midas ha'emes, man bleibt zugebunden zu Moshe midas ha'emes, und man tritt von ihm nicht ab, man tracht die ganze Zeit nicht wegen sich, nur als man geht in Moshe Rabbeinu's Shlichus. So, how much more so is it true when one is serving as a Shliach of Moshe? For Moshe is identified with the attribute of truth. So when a person acts as Moshe Shliach, he remains connected with Moshe, which is the attribute of truth, and he never separates himself from him. He doesn't think about himself, but he thinks that he's carrying out Moshe Shlichus. Demol vet men nit mishuchad, und mele frit men eis die Shlichus von Lasser Saaretz was fordert das Sichah von Amitis Verschlemmes, und man sagt, Teva Arz Asher Hashem Lekinu Neisen Lanu, und das bringt er noch dem Kibush Arz Lekvulosel, bis zum Kiyam Ayud, as Yarchev Hashem Lekechas Gvuch, bis Mashiach Lekinu Mehir V'Meinu Mamash. Now, this will lead a person, as the Pasuk says, the land which Hashem is giving us is good. This will enable the conquest of Eretz Yisrael to the fullest expanse of its borders, and ultimately lead to the fulfillment. Hashem will expand your borders with the coming Mashiach, and may it happen speedily. So basically, as we said, the mistake that the Menaglim made was that Moshe Rabbeinu gave them a shlichus, and Hashem wanted that they should understand l'daitcha, that they should understand not only in the way of Nasa, but in the way of Nishma. They should understand how Eretz Yisrael is good for them to go there. What was the mistake? The mistake was they started giving their own 2 cents. They started saying, we're not going to be able to be successful of going up to Eretz Yisrael. And the hero is that why? Because they were thinking too much about themselves. When your own mitzias, when you're involved in the shlichus of Moshe Rabbeinu of the Rebbe, and you're thinking about yourself, then it's shaykh to have sheikhat. You could be mishuchad, but when a person's totally connected to Moshe Rabbeinu in a way that it's not about him, but it's about fulfilling the shlichus, so then he will be successful. Okay, let's stop.